So I'm happy to be able to share my story and the journey we faced battling infertility. I was actually 33 when I met my husband, and we were 35 and 38 when we thought about, becoming a family and welcoming a little one to this world. Little did we know it would be such a challenging and bumpy road. I actually fell pregnant quite a few weeks after we decided we wanted to try conceiving. Regrettably, I had a miscarriage, and not only one, but two and three. And of course, this is when my gynecologist here in Switzerland started to wonder if it was perhaps time to do some more testing. I also had an intervention, and this is when we found out that I had endometriosis and what they call, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it properly, antiphospholipid syndrome, which is the presence of antibodies in your blood that can cause recurrent miscarriages. And of course, we were devastated, and this is when my gynecologist at the time thought maybe it was time to give IVF a go. We did one cycle, which turned out to be a failure. The second one was a bit better, but still after the implantation, there was no baby. And after the third failed IVF, this is when one of the best clinics here in Switzerland told us that unfortunately they were really sorry, but there was nothing more Western medicine could do for us. And that the other options we should be looking at were adoption or egg donation, which of course we had in the back of our mind thought about, but we were left with our questions. We wanted to know why us. I wanted to know what was wrong with me. Like everybody else, I was wondering if I was not meant to be a mom. And more than anything, I guess we were wondering if there was anything else we could have done. And here we were looking for some answers on the internet. And this is when we came across Marc's videos and Marc's channel, which were enlightening to say the least, because finally, we were able to get some clues. You know, we heard about detox, about alternative medicine, about nutrition, about genetic testing, and improving the quality of my eggs. And I thought, finally, there's somebody who seems to be looking at the global picture. So I remember doing some marathon weekend where we would be watching video after videos and trying to educate ourselves. I guess that was also the key. I wanted to be able to look at myself in the mirror and tell myself, okay, it didn't work, but at least I did everything I could do. I educate myself. I surrounded myself with the best experts there are out there, and we really tried everything we could. And of course, we start looking at the 101 program that Marc was offering, which was a financial burden to our budget, but we really weighed our options, and we thought we really wanted to give this a chance because we thought he really had some clues that could help us. And we were extremely pleased because we could already see from the tone and the spirit in the videos that all he wanted was, for us to be able to become a family. And we start looking at some testing that I had done here in France and Switzerland. Marc ordered some more testing for us. And I fell pregnant again for the fourth time naturally. Unfortunately, I miscarried again. So here I was, 39, with 3 failed IVF, 4 natural miscarriages, and Marc was one of the few people to tell us not to lose hope. He actually saw this as a pretty positive sign. And so we continued doing some tests, some I had never heard here in Europe, where the result had to be sent in the States. I continue working on nutrition, working on reducing the exposure to, all those products that we have in our daily life that are quite not good and for us. I really lost some weight. I work on stress management. He was a wealth of knowledge and really had us rethink the way we were living, basically, and doing things we were doing on a regular basis. And I was actually 40 when I fell pregnant for the 5th time, as we were on vacation. And this time the pregnancy went through. And in October 2018, I welcomed a healthy and beautiful baby boy, who is the joy of our life, of course. And really, we were super excited and blessed and grateful. And I don't think we could have done this without the knowledge we acquired with Marc and his support and the community that is surrounding also all this experience. I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's very important not to lose hope. I am 41. I managed to become pregnant after 4 miscarriages and 3 failed IVF. And it was not an easy journey. I just would not take no for an answer. And the other thing I'm happy to report back on is 9 months after I gave birth, I actually welcomed this wonderful news of becoming pregnant again. And I am due in April, and this time it's going to be a girl. So it's pretty crazy. We are still in denial because it took us 5 years to get there, and we were blessed enough not to have one, but 2 babies with one on the way, and we couldn't be happier. I'll be 42 when I'll be welcoming this little one. Well, I would say that his angle and his approach are not the conventional one, and yet he's the one who's getting the results. And he's never going to force you into something you don't feel comfortable, but you always have a privileged contact with him to ask any type of questions. You know, is it safe to fly at that many weeks of pregnancy? Do you think it's reasonable that I undertake this particular task? Do you think I should change my diet? He's like your best friend, but on top of that, he knows much more than anybody else. So hesitation, I want to say, is normal, especially for the 101 fertility program, because we all know that it's an investment. And I'm not going to say that everybody's going to be pregnant. I just don't know what are the odds. But at least you can look at yourself and say, okay, I did try my best. I really surrounded myself with the best people out there. I did what I could. And the rest is, not in my hands, really. It would have saved me a lot of headaches because, of course, as anybody who's gone through this miscarriages or even a round of IVF alone, is just so much. They don't tell you, for example, what Marc has told me from the get-go is that my 2 IVF cycles were too close one to the other. And this is also probably one of the reasons why it didn't go well, because my body was not rested enough. And all those injections, hormonal injections, were not ideal for my body to handle so close one to the other. And I think if I had known about the existence of this program earlier, it would have saved us a lot of headache, of course, and a lot of money too, because IVF is not free. And we regret not being able to know about this earlier, for sure. It's been a wonderful journey. I'm just very grateful that I met you guys, and I can only recommend the program, the YouTube videos, the support from Marc and you and the community. And one should not be too much hesitant. It's just it's a blessing to have somebody to talk to. And somebody who can answer your questions is just a blessing. And there are also many different options that Marc can look into and that the company can offer. So that's also very positive.